Welcome to GLL Online. Today we'll be covering the technique of finger tapping. This technique is used when trying to reach a note that would not be possible to fret just using your left hand, such as this. What's going on there is I've got the initial lick, I'm wanting to put an extra high E note in there as well. Normally I wouldn't be able to do this just using my left hand because it's too much of a stretch. You fluff it. So what you do is you take your right hand and hammer on the note there instead. It can also be used to get some interesting effects in its own right. Here's the lick that we'll be learning today. The lick also requires quite a lot of concentration when you're learning because of the inclusion of the extra B string there. So the best way to do it is just to keep both your fingers, your first finger over the first and second string when you're trying to play the lick itself. That way there's less chance of playing an open note that'll just clash with everything else you're trying to play. The technique of tapping itself is just using your right hand fingers as a hammer on and pull off. In the same way that you would do it with your left hand if you were playing with an open note. Same sort of idea. Here it is slower. Tapping just doesn't have to be used when you're playing guitar solos. It can also be used in rhythm parts to create some nice effects when you're using chords, and especially if you're using the lower down strings such as the E string. It creates some nice, it could even be used as a rhythm part in its own right. Check out this riff for an example of how that can be done. Well, that's it from me this week. Check in next week for more free video lessons from GL Online.